Good morning, everybody. I
LHSW.
was actually able to make it live at
QTES.
8:30 here, just before 8:30. Actually, I was letting everyone know on my Discord I was probably going to be a couple minutes late today, but we did end up making it. Look at that. We're getting a fire emoji.
LHSW.
That is a new addition that I just made to the scanner, actually, since the last live stream. We'll talk about that more coming up. But obviously, if you are brand new here, welcome to the live stream that you get every single Monday and Friday morning here on the Trading Stocks YouTube channel, where you'll have me live for 2 hours. Obviously, I go live 1 hour before market open, and you'll have me until 1 hour after market open. If you are watching this as a past broadcast, maybe you missed the live stream, don't worry. You're still going to get all the same value, right? You know, maybe you make sure you subscribe. Maybe you make sure you have your notifications on so that you make the next live stream. But still, sit back and enjoy the next 2 hours of getting to watch me cover my real-time stock scanner alongside the charts that are moving as well. We'll talk about some of my trading stock strategies, how I like to trade, news that I like to look for, etc., etc. It did just hit 8:30. I am sorting my news here by time. So if any new press releases, good job, Trey, were to pop up at the bottom of the hour, we would see them. I don't see anything, which is surprising. Sometimes it can be like 10, 15 seconds late, but it's normally not 45 seconds late. Did really nothing happen at 8:30? I mean, it's certainly possible that nothing happened at 8:30. We'll obviously keep an eye down here. I see nothing hitting the moving now other than the LHSW push, which I'll be honest with you, most of you all will know if you all are returning viewers to this channel. I really had no interest in this move. Why? Because it's a secondary move, right? This is the move I would have interest in. The first move on LHSW. After that, like this one too, right? The first move into new local highs where you're getting these yellow candles. Oh God, my computer's wigging. Hold on, everybody relax. I need to get a new computer. My third monitor over there just randomly goes out all the time. It just turned off. I don't think it impacted the stream at all. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I only want to be looking to trade moves that are pushing into daily highs. That's what these yellow candles represent. Yellow candles represent a close at high of day. Those are the moves I like to trade. I'm not saying it's how you have to trade. It's how I like to trade. So when you kind of got this like secondary push that wasn't into daily highs, it was into local highs, which is what these blue candles represent, wasn't for me. And why is it not for me? Because when you're not trading into daily highs, it means you have overhead resistance, right? There's a lot of volume traded right here. Look at how heavy the volume was up here. There's a lot of people that bought shares that are sitting underwater that are looking to sell into any pop. That's what happened here. You got this pop kind of back to where these people can be like, oh, thank God, finally, I can just sell at break even. They all sell, the selling pressure picks up, the stock falls back down. You're not likely to get as explosive of moves up when you're only getting local high breakouts rather than high of day breakouts, once again, because of that local overhead resistance. All right, good quick lesson, 3 minutes into the live stream. You good? Let me say my good morning, Sledders. Good morning. I picked your scanner up on sale. Thanks, bro. I got you, my friend. I hope a lot of people got to take advantage of the July 4th sale. I will just say there is actually, I think there's like 3 codes left. There's not a lot of codes left at all. If you're interested in signing up for the scanner, right now is, as good a time as any to do it because the July 4th sale is on, where you can get 1 year of the scanner for only $270, which is a fantastic deal considering the data for this scanner, if you were to buy it yourself, would cost you over $400 a month to access the live market data and the live news data that I access. Both points are $200 a month. So, I think getting it for $270 for a year is a pretty good deal. Jeff, good morning. Hello, courtside. Good morning. Red, good morning. Remove ETFs, please. I can, I guess. Seems unnecessary. Sometimes ETFs move. Sometimes, you are right that they usually are the least interesting ones. They usually have lower volume and stuff, kind of like this one here. I don't know if I want to remove them, though. Humble, good morning. Hello, what's up? Lona, hello. Good morning. Dorana, good morning. Units, yeehaw. Good morning. Hello. That, good morning. Something wrong with the free version, at least up until 5. Stocks that weren't being shown on here, something wrong with it. I don't know. I haven't looked at my free version in I don't know. Remember the last time I looked at this? Oh. Hold on. Let me get access to it. Let me get into the free version here. Let's see. No, it's good right now. So the free version, if you guys didn't know, I actually don't talk about this a lot on live streams. There is a completely free version of my scanner. Like if you just go to daytradingstrategies.net right now, which is my website where you access the scanner, you can click on the free purple, like the purple free scanner button at the top, and you can get access to the free version of the scanner, which actually still has the exact same top 20 gainers today list that you get on the real scanner, right? This is all live updating too with 4 times a second market data. You can still sort it by volume. You can still sort it by float. Very, very useful scanner, actually, like for completely free. I promise you there are people selling scanners for $25, $30 a month that aren't as good as the one I'm giving away for free. Now, you don't get access to the live moving now. You can't use their filters. Your most recent high is 5-minute delayed. You don't get the market replay. You don't get the squawk. You don't get a lot of stuff, of course, with the free version, but it's still, taking advantage of this top 20 gainers live updating is pretty sick for free. It's just a way to hopefully allow you to see how fast the scanner updates, how well it tracks the prices, so that you will understand the value that comes with then paying for the rest of the scanner. So head to daytradingstrategies.net if you're not already signed up to the scanner. You should at least have that free page bookmarked. You should at least be using that free page every single day, right? I mean, it'd be asinine not to. It's a free tool being offered to you that's showing you the real-time top 20 gainers on the day. Why would you not at least be using that, right? But I don't, so to go back to your question, Vat, you were saying there might have been something wrong with it this morning. I think there was a little bit of wonkiness this morning, like pre-8 a.m. or pre-7 a.m. Eastern, because I woke up this morning and checked my phone and looked at the scanner, as I do every morning, just to make sure that it's up and good. And the small cap gauge was on 3%, meaning that what had happened is, if I can get a little bit technical on you, I do so my small cap gauge looks back across past days as well, right? It's not only showing you the strength from today, it's looking back at past days. Well, I have, in that kind of look back, I have also told the code to ignore holidays. So I've told it to ignore July 4th because July 4th is a holiday. But since July 4th happened on a weekend, they closed the markets on, July 3rd, which I'm sure missed my kind of like look back holiday check. So that's why that was all down this morning. Honestly, I'm not sure what kicked it back up. I'm not sure if just enough gainers have pumped up, or if like at 7 or 8 a.m. it refreshed and sort of realized, hey, nothing traded on July 3rd, because I think I also have it set up to do that as well. Yeah, I need to go look at the logs, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a little bit of wonkiness this morning, like pre-7 a.m., because of that, because the holiday didn't actually happen on the holiday, so it might have messed up some of my calculations. So I do apologize if that was true, and I'll look back at my logs and I will, I'll look to fix that for the future. You guys have to remember, like, it sounds weird because so much has happened with this scanner, and I've made so much content on it and stuff. The scanner's only been out less than 6 months, right? I released this scanner on January 15th of this year. It's not been out that long, and I've made a shitload of updates to it since then too. So there's always still kind of a lot of updates and code changes kind of going on with the scanner too, as we get some of those kind of, maybe that's a weird quirk, right? Like a holiday not happening on the holiday as a weird outlier. It's like, some of those things we're still working through, but it wasn't like a fatal flaw or anything. Things were maybe just a little wonky if you were looking at the scanner very early this morning, but over explaining. I don't care, Terry. You can leave, bro. Sorry. Alex, what's up? Good morning. Volume. What about volume? Good morning, Trey. What's up, Tech? DP. Good morning. Pause. That dang cowboy. Hello. Good morning. Gilos. Aligos. Cheers, my friend. Terry, good morning. Hello. Their noise, if you could add a toggle to turn it on at least. Maybe. I'll think about it, Red. Jay, good morning. What's up, my friend? News wasn't working, but it's working now. 2 thumbs up. Yeah. Like I said, I think it's just, a little bit of wonkiness because of the way the holiday fleshed out, but it's all good. We'll take a look at it after. I'll take a look at it. I don't know what's wheel. Like, you guys are going to help me code, but my yellow candle's not popping up with the study, only blue. You probably have the old proof candle study. I've updated this study. Go look at, what's my recent video? I just published a video about the yellow candles. Go look at that video, and in the description, there is a share link that you can go copy to get this new version. If I come to content, this one. Go look at this video, and in the there you go. In the description, there's a share link for this updated version that has blue and yellow candles. You look refreshed. Hey, I had a great holiday. So I went to the USA match in California. So like after my last live stream, I went straight to the airport, straight to California, flew straight back, and then for the 4th we went camping. So I didn't even go home. I went straight to the campground from the airport. I didn't get home until like late last night. So since the last live stream, I've been home for like 10 hours. Now I'm back. I appreciate it. I grabbed it from the website. I'll have to look at that. Dan, I may not even have updated it on the website yet. Like I sort of was just referencing. I haven't been around much the last few days. I've been on like a mega vacation, so I'll have to go take a look. I know, like, listen, I've been live now for 12 minutes, and we had a pretty good conversation about 5 minutes in about why I only like to buy high-a-day breakouts. I understand that I haven't really talked about stocks much, but look at the scanner. Nothing's moving. I'm still seeing things from 8:30, from 11 minutes ago on my moving now section of the scanner. I'll tell you what, though. Maybe, like underlying in the back of my head, maybe one of my favorite, like, upsides of the scanner is during moments like this, we're not stressing, right? Like, how often do you guys find yourself when kind of things are slow, you're kind of like freaking out? Maybe you're looking around, you're looking for stuff. Maybe you're forcing bad trades on setups that aren't A+ setups for your strategy. It's because you're always thinking like, oh, what am I missing? What am I missing? Something's got to be going on. But when you have a scanner like this, you know there's just nothing going on. The market's not always super interesting. There's not always things flying. There's not always opportunity. You shouldn't always have this like FOMO going on in your head. And when you have a scanner like this, it helps kind of just alleviate that stress. You can relax a little bit when you're watching this scanner and knowing that, hey, right now it's just time to chill. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Let's have fun conversation. Let's enjoy our coffee. But we know that if something starts moving, we'll be made aware of it. We're not going to miss it. We're going to see it if something starts moving. So we don't have to be freaking out. We don't have to be looking around, looking for trades, taking shitty trades. Like, we can all just kind of chill, right? I do see BJDX up 10% in the last 2 minutes, but it is it's a no news penny stock. Very small float though. Very small float, thus why it's pumping so hard on such small volume. But no news penny stocks are never going to be for me. Listen, it doesn't mean they can't take off. We've seen no news penny stocks on these live streams rip hundreds of percents. It can happen. But what do we always say? Trading is not fortune telling. Trading is statistics. What normally happens with no news penny stocks? They normally fail, right? In the market, anything can happen. That will always be true. It's not your job to try to trade every move. It's your job to prove what works for you statistically and to trade those statistics, right? Have you seen a push with DraftKings with FIFA? Is DraftKings sponsoring the World Cup now? Gosh. Why didn't GMEX hit the scanner? I don't know. Did it not hit the scanner? I don't know. That's a good question. It may have just happened so fast. I wasn't looking at this. It may have just like ticked up immediately and then like started failing, which would mean that the volume wasn't high enough. The volume may not have been high enough during the bull run, if that makes sense, to hit the scanner before it started failing. I mean, look at this stock, right? The stock ripped face and then instantly started failing. So like, it's not like it's bad that you missed it. That would be my assumption. I'd have to go back and look at it. That it just moved so fast that maybe it wasn't, you know, the volume wasn't there during the up move and then it started failing. So then of course it's not gonna hit the scanner while it's failing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Does it have news? Yes. It does have news. Oh, I see it here.
GMEX.
The hell? Is it listening to us? Now it's hitting here and saying it's new. I don't know. That's weird. It is wonky. I'll look at it. I'm not sure what happened there. Not exactly one I'm upset about missing though, but yeah, I'll look into what happened. Lucy, I saw people in the, when I logged into Discord this morning, I saw people talking about Lucy. What's the news here? Innovative, what is that? Like crazy looking glasses. Innovative Eyewear Q2 2026 net sales up 71%. Yow. 12th consecutive quarter of growth. Hasn't Lucy like been a shitty penny? Yeah. It's like Lucy's been a shitty penny stock that we've traded for a while. I remember this move. I remember this move 2 years ago. This is what I remember about Lucy. I knew I recognized this ticker. Like I know that I've looked at this and possibly traded it. I don't remember. I can't tell you if I traded it 2 years ago, but I do know I was at least looking at this move 2 years ago. And it's been a stock since then that has pop failed, pop failed, pop failed, pop failed, pop failed. So once again, as always, what do I always say? 90% of like your day trade opportunity stocks are gonna have awful daily charts. Like if you go out and look at the daily on most of these stocks, they're all for the most part trash. Look, here's another one. Like these stocks are not ever buy and hold plays, right? We're looking to take advantage of very short-term bullish momentum here, which is why having a real-time stock scanner is so important, right? So that you can be put onto them fast enough. Because these stocks are gonna pop really hard and then they're gonna fail really hard. It's just what happens. It's just the name of the game. Kind of the reason why they're allowed to pop so hard is because they're so heavily shorted, right? Like a big reason why you get such big moves is because there's so many shorts in these stocks because their daily charts are so dog water. And of course, if a stock is very, very heavily shorted and it starts going up, those shorts start covering. That's the same thing as buying, right? Shorts covering creates the same exact buying volume that me or you buying the stock would create. So it just creates more and more of that buy pressure as more and more shorts are forced to cover. Did I take out the blue and yellow candle strategy and enter the new one that you just updated?
GMEX.
I mean, yeah, the new study is going to have the blue and yellow candles. Oh, SBEV. Okay, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this fire emoji. So I added this. I literally added this while I was in California. I live in Virginia. I fly to California. I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning because it's 8 a.m. my time. What do you do at 5 a.m.? So I did a little bit of work while I was out in California, and this is something I added. This is actually something that we talked about on last live stream. This was an idea from one of you. So what this is doing, now if a stock hits the moving now, so if it prints 3 lines on the moving now within 20 seconds, you get this fire emoji. So it's a way that you can easily visualize stocks that are like actually getting very strong moves versus the ones that like just kind of get the kind of random small pops that we've been seeing throughout the morning, right? Very, very useful. And once again, it's an idea that came from you all from the chat. So thank you very much for it. I think it adds a ton of value to the scanner. So now, like, especially once market opens, like during pre-market, it's kind of like, okay, not that many stocks are hitting the scanner anyway. But once the market's open and the scanner is going crazy, it'll be very, very useful to go, okay, focus on the ones that have the fire, right? Focus on the ones that are actually getting very big moves, very kind of strong, consistent moves right now. This also does have news. It's a super penny stock. I also remember SBEV. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a stock I remember trading too. Yeah. It's another one that has had some big runs, some big pops over time, always fails back down, continues to reverse split. Of course it does. It's a shitty penny stock, but Maddie, what's up? Splash Beverage acquires exclusive global rights to CanEpil, an epilepsy therapy with established European patient access. Huh? What? A beverage company is getting into epilepsy therapy? I mean, hey, whatever you can do to pump your penny stock, right? So that you can have another secondary offering in a couple days.
GMEX. SBEV. GMEX.
Ooh, excuse me.
SBEV.
What's up, Maddie? How's everyone doing? Everyone excited for the USA match tonight? Everyone been watching the World Cup? Dude, the matches yesterday were awesome. Norway, Brazil was awesome. Mexico, England was fantastic. Spain, Portugal today, and then USA, Belgium in the evening. I was going to go out to Seattle. Like, I was really thinking about going out to Seattle and watching this match too, but I don't know. I kind of decided that I want to watch it with my kids. Well, at least with my son. My daughter will be asleep. I'll let my son stay awake and watch it. They're 3-1, my kids are, so they're not old enough that it makes sense to fly them across the country and take them to a match. You know, they're just not quite old enough. So SBEV, but look, SBEV is pushing again. This is the stock we've been watching once again. Why? Because it got fire emojis on the you know, we've been watching this since it was like here, right? Since it was like 18.5, we've been watching it. It's up 28% since it first hit the scanner, since we first pulled it up. Fire, fire, fire. You're already seeing the value in the fire emoji. It's like, hey, this stock is interesting. Go look at it. And boom. Now, you know, 30+% since we first started looking at this stock. Nice shirt, JMU alum 2008. Nice. My wife graduated from JMU in 2016. I went to VMI, so I spent every weekend I could at JMU. Did a lot of partying there. SBEV, Sierra Bravo Echo Victor. Remember how we talked about earlier how like kind of nothing was moving in the market? It's like, not really anything's going on. But if something does move, we will be made aware of it. And as soon as this moved, we were made aware of it. And here we go. It is like a, you know, it is a crappy penny stock, but it does at least have news, right? This is not a no news penny stock. It at least did announce something. There is some sort of legitimacy for this move. Volume is huge too. I mean, it is a 20-cent stock. So 3 million shares into a 20-cent stock is far less impressive than 3 million shares into a $5 stock, of course, but fun school. Especially in 2008, y'all were still having all the block parties and stuff. 2013 to 2016, those block parties were already shut down. You know, they would still happen, but I don't think at the scale they were happening while you were there. Red hot American night. It's like hot as hell in my office. Well, maybe it's me drinking the hot coffee that's making it hot. There is still, I think it's 3. There is still 3 codes available if you are interested in the scanner. Once again, daytradingstrategies.net. You can just click on this banner. It'll take you straight to checkout with the code auto applied. That is 12 months of access to real-time stock data to moves like you just got put on for $270. A lot of people have already taken advantage of it. I appreciate those of you that have, and I hope you find a ton of value. All right, so one run this morning. 25 minutes into the live stream, we've had one stock make a move. Once again, nice to know that we are being put onto even if it's limited action, we're being put onto it by the scanner, right? And we're not running around chasing FOMO, etc., etc. We trade the moves that appear in front of us. We ride the wave. We trade like a surfer, right? That's what we're doing. We're out in the water right now. We're looking for a big wave to start. We're looking to get into that wave after it starts. Once the wave starts, we're looking to get in, and then we're looking to ride that entire wave and get out once it starts to diminish. My strategy actually never traded this. What strategy am I running? My rate of change strategy. I assume that this grinded up too much. Well, we can look, right? I can turn on the RSI. So the entrance for this strategy that I'm running says that the hello? Oh, I think I just have too many studies turned on. No. It's off for now. There it is. The entrance condition for this strategy says that the RSI value must be 8 points higher than the RSI value on the candle before it, and it must be trading, heavy enough volume. Wait a second. Wait, that actually did happen here. Why did it not enter? Oh, that's right. I have this condition in the code that the volume on the candle must be at least greater than 5 times the number of shares you're going to buy, which is your buying power divided by close. I have it set to take $50,000 positions. That's roughly the size I trade. So this, I would have bought a shitload of shares, right? A $50,000 position on an 18-cent stock is a ton of shares. This volume, obviously at 1 million shares, is not 5 times greater than the number of shares I would have looked to buy. That's why it didn't. Now, if you were to come in, if you were to use this code, and maybe most of you probably aren't taking $50,000 positions. If you were running it on $2,000 positions, I bet you did get in. Yeah, a $2,000 position would have bought here. Yep, because you're only buying 10,000 shares. I like that rule a lot because it ensures. Of course, you want to only be trading stocks that trade heavy volume. Of course, please always avoid light volume stuff. Please avoid anybody that tells you to trade light volume stuff. They're teaching you that because they want you to be their exit liquidity, right? You should only be trading stocks with heavy volume. I like setting it up in that way that the volume must be at least X times greater than your buying power because it keeps it relevant to the size that you're trading, right? The volume just being stagnant, it would depend. Someone that's trading a $2,000 position versus someone that's trading a $50,000 position, they're looking the volume matters differently to you, I guess is the point I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that's what happened there with my version of the strategy. We can look at it on a $2,000 position just so we can watch a trade. Why not? Before you got on, look at Kids, Lucy, and Q-Tex. Look at the proof candle strategy, buying the first yellow candle. You got some. There was some nice early morning movement, huh? There was some nice 7:30 movement this morning, which hopefully you guys got to take advantage of with the scanner here. So the strategy we'll be looking to sell here, of course, making use of my 1 below rule. The 1 below rule states that the only time you sell a stock is when the candle closes below the low of previous candle, which we're trading right now. So we'll see. This is once again how you trade like a surfer, right? Surfers wait for the wave to start, then they get in. They're not just standing up on their board and hoping a wave comes. Just like you shouldn't be buying stocks that are going sideways or buying stocks that are going down. Wait for the momentum to start, jump in as fast as possible. Really, the only way to do that is to have real-time stock data. Then you want to ride the whole wave, right? Like a successful ride for a surfer is not when they jump off in the middle of a wave, not selling too early into this 10, 11, 12% strength. You're holding, and then you're getting out when the wave starts to slow. I objectify that by using the one below rule. We didn't get it there. This candle closed actually above the low of this candle. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's kind of just like chilling right now, but you never know. Candle over candle now. It's trying to fight. You use Dash Trader, correct? I do a little, yes, in some of my accounts. I have a few different accounts I don't talk a lot about on my live streams for various reasons. But I do love Dash Trader though. Yes. To more simply and more directly answer your question, yes, Dash Trader is probably my favorite active trading software. And you can link it to Charles Schwab too. Like you can set up Charles Schwab to point to a Dash Trader rather than Thinkorswim. The thing about Dash Trader is it costs money. There's a monthly fee to use Dash Trader, which obviously doesn't exist with Thinkorswim. But just like with anything in life, most things in life, you get what you pay for, right? Is it better than Thinkorswim? Yeah, absolutely. It's better. It's better for trade execution than Thinkorswim. Yes. Is the charting better? No. I actually really like the charting in Thinkorswim. And that might just be a product of it's what I'm used to. It's what I've been using now for, 8-9 years, however long I've had a Thinkorswim account. And not to mention with Thinkorswim, I can run all these custom codes, right? I think that's why I like Thinkorswim so much, because of the ability to code in your own strategies and studies and stuff. But trade execution via Dash Trader is much better than Thinkorswim. Yeah, they're a direct access. Is that the word? Direct access? I think that's what you call it. Software. Meaning that there's no, like you're not trading through a middle house like you are with Thinkorswim or other free brokerages. And the big thing with Dash Trader, the big reason why I love it is because you can, just like in Thinkorswim, how you can custom code studies, in Dash Trader, you can custom code hotkeys, which is very, very nice. How was the game? It was sick, man. It was a lot of fun. My seat was like lower bowl, 12 rows back, I think. And I was right on the touch line, I was looking down the touch line from where Tillman scored that free kick. He scored it like right in front of me. It was sick. It was a lot of fun. Are your in-laws still there? No, they left last weekend. When market open, can make market trades. Hard to do OCO orders. Yeah, I can't really help you with that. I'm not really ever doing OCO orders, stuff like that. UZX is it's another no news penny stock. What normally happens with no news penny stocks? They normally fail, which UZX is already starting to do. That's a
LHSW.
LHSW pushing again. Oh, did I not click on it? Okay. Wow. Look at all the fire. I did see this stock hit the scanner with the fire emoji, like sub 6, like back here. I saw it hit. Nice kind of 25% move since it first hit. I was just watching the SBEV trade, but okay. Why is this not yellow? Oh, it is yellow now. Okay. Pushing into high a day now. Interesting. This is the stock that, got new. Well, actually, no, it doesn't have news, but it flew at like 4 a.m. this morning, and then it flew again at 7 a.m. Now it's flying again at 9 a.m. Sort of random. Once again, with not having the press release, it's sort of random, but it is your top gainer on the day, and it is pushing into high a day, so certainly worth paying attention to. Certainly worth the fire emojis with all this time it's hitting the moving now. Once again, if you've just joined, I explained it a little bit ago, but this is the most recent addition to the scanner. Now, if you get 3 lines of the same stock printed on the moving now within 20 seconds. It gets this fire emoji. Once again, just a great way to visualize stocks that are actually getting big moves against the ones that are, you know, just kind of small popping. LHSW Lima Hotel Sierra Whiskey obviously deserves the fire emoji with all the times it hit the moving now on this push. Closed out a nice sand disk at 2 a.m. 2 a.m.? What time are you waking up to trade, unit? I haven't had anybody complain about the Discord yet this morning, which is good. I did change the way that I set up the Discord. So now, like, I've kind of got rid of that automated bot assigning the roles. I already have it behind a paywall. Like, I already have it so you can only access the invite link if you are signed up to daytradingstrategies.net. So I'm not sure why I set it up like with that and then the automated bot. So I just got rid of the bot. Did the coffee guys kidnap Trey? I did never share the link in Discord. Can someone do me a big favor? Because it's a pain in the ass for me to do. Can someone that is in here right now and also in the Discord, can you share the link for me real quick? Just so everyone else can see. Go on, Evie. Whoa. Go on, Evie Trader. Congratulations, my friend. You're up at 4 a.m. Eastern trading. Not missing a moment, huh? You're an extended pre-market trader. I've never, ever done that. I've never traded pre 7 a.m. Can you show me how to link another platform to Thinkorswim? You can't link another platform to Thinkorswim. What I said earlier is that you can link your Charles Schwab to Dash Trader. Charles Schwab is the brokerage that owns Thinkorswim. You can only use Charles Schwab with TOS. But you can link other things to the Charles Schwab brokerage, if that makes sense. The link goes the other way. Yeah, you have to have a Charles Schwab account to access Thinkorswim. But you can go make one, though, as a thing. Like, the thing about Thinkorswim is there's no fees. It's completely free to use. All you need is a Charles Schwab account because that's your login to Thinkorswim. So you can just go make one. It takes, a couple minutes. You don't have to put any money into it or anything like that. Just go make a Charles Schwab account and then you can use Thinkorswim. If you're interested in like the charting of this tool, if you're interested in accessing my custom codes and that kind of thing. What's your view on using tick charts? It's something I've never done, but it kind of just like all my views on anything else, 40. If it works for you, keep doing it, right? I'm a big believer in like not telling someone to change something if it's working for them. There's no like, the best way to trade is what works for you. That's the best way to trade. And that's going to be a little different for everybody. We're all going to see the market a little bit differently. We're all going to have different account sizes. We're all going to have different trading goals. We're all going to have different risk tolerances. We all have different levels of personal income. We all have different family situations. We all have, so find what works for you and continue to hammer that out. And when you find something that works for you, don't like let other people change it. Just keep doing that, right? Someone will try to, I see it all the time happen on the internet. It's like, oh, you can't trade like that because this is how you're supposed to trade. It's like, dude, if that person's making money, that is how they should trade, right? You don't have to trade like me. You don't have to trade like a surfer. You don't have to buy big, strong green candles and then hold and wait for the first candle to close below previous candle. It's just what works for me. It's what fits my style. It's what fits my goals, my risk tolerance, etc. There's a lot of people that buy huge dips and then sell like immediately into green, which is like the exact opposite of how I trade, but they make money doing it, right? So if you're making money doing it, for the love of Warren Buffett, keep doing that, you know? What's up, Christopher? How you doing? Good morning. My scanner's not matching here, showing no moving now. Are you on the paid version of the scanner? Sounds like you might be on the free version. The free version won't have anything here. Or are your filters like different? Are your filters like slid around different? Because of course you'll see different stuff than me if you have your filters set. Do you always follow your strategy when it tells you to enter? No. So I'm also a big believer in having rules, right? You should have a strategy, like you should have a proven statistic strategy. Hey, this works. And then you should also have like a trade rule set that you apply on top of kind of every strategy. Like I have rules that like the stock must have news, for instance, is a rule of mine. I don't trade stocks that don't have news. I have found that more statistically, those fail. Those moves don't get the big continuation. So obviously I have not traded LHSW because it doesn't have news on the morning. Listen, my strategy's traded it. My strategy's done very, very well, actually, considering that it's taking $2,000 positions. It's up over $2,000. It's doubled its money in this strategy. It actually made most of it from after hours on Friday. I didn't even notice that. Oh, you know what? I bet this stock had news after hours on Friday. So that's why it's moving nice this morning. I bet it had big news after hours Friday. That makes a little bit more sense. But anyway, still, it doesn't have news this morning, so I'm not trading it. Kind of like I talked about earlier, how the stock must be pushing into high a day. The stock must be meeting certain volume standards. You know, I have rules like that I apply to that. I guess the easiest way to explain it is that the idea is that the rules aligned with the strategy make sure that I'm only taking trades with A+ setups on the strategy, right? I don't know if I explained that well at all, but but yeah. So no, I definitely don't take every trade the strategy takes. No. I also I'll be very, very frank with you. Like, this is, I understand this might make me sound like a douchebag, but listen, we're all money hungry freaks, so we can all deal with it. I'm in a, pretty good financial spot in my life, which I, thank God for every day. The day trading, in my eyes, is a means to an end, right? If you have a very small account and your goal is to rapidly grow it, you're just going to have to take more trades and riskier trades. Welcome to the game. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as more reward in this game without more risk. It's just how it is. But as your account starts to grow, you can sort of scale back the risk, right? Like there's not really, there's way less reasons to be trading 20-cent stocks. You know what I mean? Once you get to certain account sizes, or trading stocks out of halts, or like whatever else I used to do. I don't trade every day. I don't trade most days, guys. We talked about this on the live stream on Friday, I think it was, or whenever my last live stream was, when we had that very, very obvious trade setup. For those of you guys that were there, you'll remember. We had a very obvious setup. 9 o'clock came, a stock hit the scanner, we clicked on it, it had NVIDIA in the news headlines. I was like, okay, this is it. This is my A+ setup. This is a stock that has a uber high percentage chance of continuation. Does it mean it's guaranteed to continue? No, it's still risky. Everything's still risky. Life is risky, but it was a very, very obvious setup. Those are the trades I take. Honestly, it might be 1 or 2 a week. Sometimes it's 0 a week. That's all I'm trading now, is very, very obvious setups, because it's all I need to trade. I'm not trying to make 300% to my account this year. You know what I mean? It's not my goal. It's not my trade goal. It's not what I need to do. I don't need to take on that risk. It's more like when you get to a certain point when capital, preservation becomes kind of much more important than growth, if that makes sense. And that's, once again, thank God, that's where I am at this point in my life. So do I day trade? Yes. Do I day trade every day? No. Do I day trade like shitty penny stocks with no news? No. But once again, It's just, that's why, like, people ask a lot. I see this question kind of come up on Twitter a lot sometimes. It's like think of how Ross Cameron does his small account challenges. People are like, why the hell would you do a small account challenge? If you can make so much money day trading, then why would you do a small account challenge? And profitable traders understand. It's because in a small account, you can trade very, very different than you trade a large account. You do not trade the two things the same. You just don't, right? You don't take on the same risk in your main, however much money Ross has in his main portfolio, I won't estimate, but he does not trade the same in that portfolio that he would a small account. And that's why he does it, Anyway, rant over. SPEV did hit the scanner again while I was ranting. I did pull it up. I don't know if I even mentioned it. I pulled it up. The strategy is in. It's kind of chopping sideways. You explain it well all the time. I don't know if I agree with that, but I appreciate it, Terry. I bought your scanner and love it. Thank you, Finance. Thinkorswim sucks with calculating real-time values. Do you have any quick pointers on bracket order buffers? Yeah, what you mean, like when you set up a bracket order? When I set up, if I'm going to trade a bracket order, which I basically never do. Listen, my order templates are very, very simple. I'm buying and selling. Like I'm not really doing the OCO thing and the brackets and stuff. But if I were to do brackets, like when I make my video on this, I like leaving the value offset at +1 and -1. This is like what it's defaulted to. And what this does is it will, when you buy, it'll put a profit 1 point above your entrance. It'll put a stop 1 point below your entrance. But then, like, that's just how you get the order on the chart. Then you can drag those bubbles, right? Like on Thinkorswim, one of the really nice features is it shows your order and you can grab it and drag it around. So just get the order on the chart and then grab and drag, like, if you want to take profit at 30 cents and if you want to get stopped out at 25 cents, just grab and drag it to those points. Excuse me. What are the flames on your scanner? This is a very new addition. It's actually the most recent addition I made this weekend. And what this is doing, if a stock hits the moving now 3 times within 20 seconds, so if you get 1, 2, 3 line prints all within 20 seconds, then you get this. It's just a way to visualize stocks that are actually making strong moves versus ones that are like just getting little pops, kind of like this one or kind of like this one. Like these stocks are just getting little pops, which is like great that, sure, it should show on the scanner. That's great. But like, I wanted a way, and actually, once again, this is an idea from you guys, from chat. So thank you all for the idea. But we all wanted a way to visualize like, okay, which ones are actually moving really hard, right? And that's what this is for. It's a great way to visualize stocks that are actually strong. My scanner's not showing SBEV. I'm sure your price slider is slid up. You probably have this slid up, and SBEV's a 27-cent stock, so it's not going to show. I run my filters wide open when I'm looking at the scanner, especially like for streams like this, just so we can talk about anything that's moving. That's the only reason your scanner, anyone's scanner, would be different. Or like your internet is shit. I mean, that could also be true. If you're like, obviously this is a website. Even if it wasn't, even if it was an app, your own internet is going to come into play. Like if your internet was like out or like not refreshing for the 30 seconds that SBEV was hitting, then it's probably not going to show on the scanner, right? But, if you have internet that bad, you shouldn't be trying to day trade anyway. I tell people that a lot, by the way. This is like another random rant, but like, please don't try, like if you wake up one morning and your internet is kind of shoddy, like just take the day off, Or if you're like traveling and you're on hotel Wi-Fi or whatever, just don't trade. You get yourself in a lot of trouble very quickly trying to trade on shoddy internet. Another pro tip with that is to download your trade software's app, right? Like Thinkorswim has an app. I have it on my phone. I never use it to trade. It's not like that useful for trading. But if you're in a position and you lose internet, you can get on the app using your mobile data, hopefully, as long as you have cell service, and you can exit your positions that way. So that's another little pro tip for you. Yeah, true, Dan. True. Make sure when you get into Thinkorswim that you update your RAM, yes, so it runs more smoothly. I day trade with AOL dial-up. How's that going for you? That SBEV trade sort of just like went sideways and petered out. Break even. We'll keep an eye here. It's trying. There is 10 minutes till market open. So those of you guys maybe that have never been to one of my live streams, we kind of like bullshit chit chat during pre-market, right? Because there's not usually a ton of stuff going crazy. Some mornings there is, but it's usually relatively slow like this. Once market opens, we all kind of lock in. I will lock in, and I will be calling out phonetically any ticker that I see hitting the scanner with both a big volume and a small float is what I'll be calling out for you. Please, when I'm calling out stocks, I'm not telling you to go buy them. I'm not even telling you they're good trade setups. I probably haven't looked at them yet myself. I just want to help you all recognize where the bullish volatility is at the moment, right? Is what I'm going to be calling out once the market's open. $5G backup on your router in case the internet goes down. I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know you could do that. That's a good idea, trader. There are can you buy a router that also will use internet data or mobile data? I didn't know that was a thing. That's a good idea. I've made more dough laying in bed using my TOS iPhone app. Nice. I've talked to people that like only trade on their phone. What I find to be crazy, but what was the conversation we had earlier? If it works for you, that's what you should do, right? I've talked to people that they do very well for themselves and they've only ever traded on their phone. Good for you, man. I mean, that's crazy, but good for you. You have an app for color coding time and sales in level 2? You can't do that. There's no way to like, there's no functions that exist that would allow me to touch this data. The only functions in ThinkScript, which is Thinkorswim's coding language, they're all related to what can be charted. You can't really affect things that can't be charted, if that makes sense. Like time and sales, like level 2, like news, like you can't really custom code those areas. Ayo hell. How often do y'all clear your cache on Thinkorswim? I don't think I mean, I never do it manually, but I do, I think a big thing is to make sure that you close Thinkorswim when you're done using it. Don't ever like leave Thinkorswim open overnight and then like try to trade on it the next morning. You will have built up so much of this Java waste that collects over time with any Java-based platform that your application will be really slow. Red Hot American. 8 minutes. Well, 7 minutes and 15 seconds. What are we looking at, fellas? SBEV has been fun. LHSW was fun. Once again, uninteresting to me because it doesn't have news. Actually, the top 3 gainers on the morning all don't have news, which is interesting. Then you got some news. SBEV, Kids, Lucy were fun early this morning. I'm not sure, Myron. I'm not sure what you kind of mean by that, right? Time and sales is already color coded, right? Like red is trades happening at the bid, green is trades happening at the asks, and then if anything happens between those two, it'll come up gray. It's all red. Are you talking about like if the size, if size is over 200, then highlight the cell yellow or something? Is that what you're talking about? Because yes, there are platforms that allow you to do that, yes. And also in Thinkorswim, I didn't know about that custom thing, but in Thinkorswim, you can click here, you can click into the size, and you can only show trade blocks over, etc. Like only show me blocks that are over 1,000, which of course would be 100,000 because these are all multiplied by 1,000 or multiplied by 100, sorry. So now you're like only seeing big block orders that are going through. So this is something you can do in Thinkorswim Active Trader, yes. You can't like color code it, but you can only show certain block sizes if you want. What was your favorite coding language in college? I'm not gonna lie, my college program didn't really teach us a lot of languages. We like learned Java, which of course means you also learn like JavaScript, and I think we did some like C# stuff, especially in our what's the word I'm trying to think? Cybersecurity class. I think we did a lot of C# stuff and like SQL bullshit, but we didn't like go around like learning like let's learn Python or React or HTML or it's kind of like, okay, you learn Java, JavaScript, and then from there you kind of just learn how machines work, right? I think that's a fine way to learn coding too, because the hardest part about learning how to code is learning how to communicate with the machine, right? There's like a different way you need to tell a machine what you want it to do than you would tell a person in English or whatever language you speak, right? This is a different way to go about it. Once you understand that, like once you understand how to, declare variables and reference them in functions and then, reference different classes and methods and, switches and API references and this, that, and the other. Once you understand that stuff, learning a new language is really easy. It's just learning different keywords and different functions and stuff. Like, I could code in any language right now if I wanted to. Especially now, especially like with AI and everything else, like AI is not great at coding.
SPHL.
If you just like go tell it to code something, but it's pretty damn good at coding if you know how to code and are able to direct it in the right way. You're able to ask it the right questions. You're able to ask it the right kind of things. So like, especially now, like I've never coded in React before in my life, but I bet I could go build a React website in, a couple hours if I needed to, just because I know how to code, right? I don't know if any of that made sense to anyone out there, but I think people who know how to code, that would have made sense to. Did you had Charlie turned on this morning, Dan, and forgot? Another great feature of the scanner that unfortunately I'm not allowed to showcase on these live streams because part of my Benzinga contract is that it must be behind a paywall. I can't stream it for free, is Benzinga Squawk. You have a real life human on my scanner reading out news in real time and reading out what stocks are moving in real time. Mr. Charlie on the other end of the microphone here. I love Mr. Charlie. Yeah, he's very helpful. Very helpful for making sure we know what's going on in the market, especially like macro stuff. I really like Benzinga Squawk for like the PPI news, the CPI news, what's the Fed talking about today? What earnings are coming up? What are the earnings numbers coming out? Like I like him for a lot of that stuff too. Because my scanner, like the scanner data does a really good job of like handling small cap momentum and small cap news. He'll still read it out, but like the data itself is going to be faster than him reading it out. So where I find him really useful is like, yeah, kind of the bigger picture macro stuff going on in the world, in the market. Peace, family. All right, 1 minute and 30 seconds until market opens. Once again, market open, I will lock in. I'll be reading out phonetically the stocks that I think are interesting. My eyes, I'm going to sort this by last high of day as well so that I can see my top 20 gainers sorted by what is most interesting. My eyes, when the market open, go here. I'm looking at the volume column of the moving now. I'm looking at stocks that are trading heavy volume. And then when I see one, basically I'm looking for M's. Like when I see an M, my eye then immediately shoots over here to the float. And as long as this float is like sub 30 million, I consider that interesting. I consider that a stock that is obviously moving up very strong. That's like the precursor for it being allowed to hit the moving now. So we know that part of it's interesting. But if it has heavy volume, small float, we know that the volatility is there, and we know that the potential for continuation is there. Once again, if a stock hits the scanner with huge volume and small float, does it mean it's going to continue? No. I have not built a time machine here. Unfortunately, I do not have the materials to build a time machine. But what the scanner does, what the scanner's job is to make sure that you are always looking at the most interesting setups for trading. Like you're always looking at the best opportunities in the market, right? Those opportunities can and will still fail time over time, but from there, it's all about you applying your own strategies to them to hopefully be profitable over time, right? All right, here we go, 10 seconds. Once again, I will be calling out stocks phonetically. Once again, I am not telling you to go buy these stocks. They're just what I find interesting. Markets are open now. It's going to take a few seconds because the stocks have to trade enough volume to populate the moving now. So you got to give the stocks enough time to trade that volume. But we should begin seeing some populations here today. This will be my first time watching the moving now out of market open with my new fire emojis. So that'll be fun too. Okay, looking. A lot of new stuff. Like nothing from pre-market is pushing up so far. Everything that's hitting is new, which means none of these were moving well in pre-market. At least not bullishly.
SBEV.
LHAI getting a fire emoji. Lima Hotel Alpha India. SBEV, Sierra Bravo Echo Victor. This was a pre-market stock we were looking at. The volatility Holt scanner is also beginning to fire. Neither one of these stocks have interesting volume, but this is another thing that you get with the scanner. You can see all the volatility halts as they happen in real time. Looking, once again, a lot of new stocks, a lot of very low volume. Still looking out for any fire emojis or anything like that. Look at the LHSW float. Is it very small? Oh, yeah. Look at the ZCMD float. The hell is that? 30,000? Is that real? Oh my God. What is this stock? What's going on here? Ooh. This stock went nuts Friday after hours. Holy hell. The stock went up over 600% in after hours on Friday.
ZCMD.
What? Oh, it's pushing now. Look, ZCMD, Zulu, Charlie, Mike, Delta. Wow. It's been getting kind of crushed all pre-market, but just a huge gainer from Friday after hours. Wow, Palo Alto is hitting my scanner. That's crazy. You don't normally see stocks as big as Palo Alto hitting the scanner. We were talking about cybersecurity just this morning. Can I use AI to create a scanner? Yeah, of course you can. The issue is that you're going to be paying. If you want to build a scanner like mine, you have to pay at least $400 a month for the data. If you want to access the same data I'm using, it'll cost you $400 a month. That's what most people are doing, by the way. Like most other scanners, if not every other scanner that you see, at least in my price range, that's what they're doing. They're using AI and they're building the scanner, but they're using free stock data. There is free stock data out there that you can pull. The issue with free stock data, Lucy, by the way, Lucy, Lima, Uniform, Charlie, Yankee. The issue with free stock data is, once again, you get what you pay for. Free stock data is roughly 15 to 30 seconds delayed. Like you're not getting real-time data for free. Data is very expensive. No one's giving it away for free. So that's what you're getting with like most other scanners in my price range. You're getting 15 to 30 second delayed data. And if your goal is to trade highly volatile stocks, it's not worth it. Like, honestly, I'd rather you not even have a scanner than to have a scanner that's 15-second delayed. You'd be put into moves way too late. You're going to end up being the exit liquidity for people that are using real-time data like us. LUCY. This is the one we're looking at right now. Lima Uniform Charlie Yankee. Stock that had news. Stock that was moving in pre-market. Nice little push here. Where's your high a day on this? Oh, high a day is still way up at 137. So I'm not I'm not uber interested in this stock until it breaks high a day, which is, still 30% away. It's still very far away, but somebody might be interested in it. It is moving. Pew. Hardest part is getting the plutonium. Exactly. In today's day and age, like with AI and like with, for the most part, anybody being able to code, like at least simple codes, like you're still going to need to have some knowledge to do complex coding, but like building simple websites and dashboards and shit, where the real value is going to be, what's going to be worth a lot of money is data. The data that people need in order to code is what's going to bring in the money, which is why I pay $66,000 a year so that I have the access and the ability to redistribute this data for my business. It's why I pay $66,000 a year to do that, because I know that immediately makes my scanner the best in the market at this price range. Because other people aren't doing that. Like other people that are selling scanners for $30 to $50 a month are not spending $66,000 a year on their data like I am. It's kind of like a business practice of mine to just build the best software on the market and then kind of let it sell itself, right? Which is why I love doing these live streams. You guys get to see how well and how fast the scanner performs for free during these live streams, and it sells itself, I think. A ton of new stocks are hitting the scanner, which means that you're not getting a ton of continuation this morning, right? Like we really haven't yet this morning seen the stock that like hits the scanner and just continues to hit. Here goes KIDZ, by the way. Kilo India Delta Zulu. But this is, once again, it's another stock that moved really hard during pre-market and is still pretty far away from its daily high, which is uninteresting to me. I'm not interested in it till it's breaking daily highs. Which, who cares? Who knows? We'll watch it and see if it wants to start testing those levels, but right now it's not. Yes, Dan. When I'm talking about high of day, I'm talking about from 4 a.m. Yep, that is when this code starts measuring. High of day is 4 a.m. You come in, you can see define market open seconds from time 4 a.m. Yep. That's when we're starting to do this. Do you have a training course? Not for like trading. I don't sell any education, Zach. I do have a course on how to code in Thinkorswim. That I think is a little different because you actually, by the end of the course, you will know how to code anything you want in Thinkorswim, studies, scanners, strategies, whatever. So you're going to actually come at that course with like a skill. Another really nice thing about the course is you also get lifetime access to the scanner. If you're interested, you can click the on daytradingstrategies.net. There's this little cap up here. Oh, of course, you're just going to be taken straight to the course because I already have it, but there's information about the course on the website. I probably should advertise more that the course comes with lifetime access, because I don't even think I mentioned that on the page. Maybe I do, but I probably should advertise that better. I think like 75-ish people have signed up for that course, and I've got 0 negative reviews about it. People have found a lot of value in that. I think a handful of people only signed up for it, like for the lifetime access. I don't even know if they cared about the course, but there are 3 codes left new. Last I checked, it might be down to 2 now. I haven't really been, 2 people did sign up to the website. 1 was monthly. That might not even been a new sign up. But yeah, there's a couple of these codes still left. I will end it today. Even if they don't sell out, I'll end it today. You think Kids is gonna hit high a day? Kids, it's pushing. There goes LUCY on the scanner again too. Mine's already failing. It hit the scanner 40 seconds ago, and by the time I got to it, it's already failing. All right, we'll watch KIDZ. I guess this is the most interesting right now. Kilo India Delta Zulu. Can you give your thoughts on BCLI? I don't really have thoughts.
IREX.
Yeah, it's dog shit. Very, very light volume. It's a super light volume stock, man. Don't touch this shit. And if you're already in, do your best to get out on the ask. I bet the spread on this is atrocious. The ask is at 167, the bid's at 150. So like, yeah, while it looks like this stock is up 15% today, it's just because the last trade was at the ask. The real value is 150. So the stock is really barely up today at all. Just whenever you see a stock like this, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And if, please, I will say this too, like I try to not shit on other creators, but I will shit on these people. If you ever come across like a video or a YouTube creator, a streamer, whatever, that is trying to convince you to trade stuff like this, immediately click off and never watch their content again. The only reason that someone would suggest to you to trade shit like this is because they want you to be their exit liquidity, right? Because they understand that what they can do is they can front load this, like they can go buy 10,000 shares of this. They can tell you to go buy it. And because it's such light volume, it's gonna pop, it's gonna react to that, and then they're gonna sell to you, right? You're gonna be the exit liquidity for the creator that's already front loaded the move, right? They're trying to scam you. KIDZ, testing high a day now. Kilo India Delta Zulu. Certainly the most interesting stock of the morning so far, out of market open at least. I'm not gonna lie, like market open has not been hyper interesting. I actually had more fun in pre-market so far, which, to be fair, is not that abnormal. Stocks do tend to fly more in pre-market if they're gonna fly. What is FXHO? Is this actually halted up? Yes, okay. Here's a up halted stock that's traded a decent amount of volume on the morning. FXHO. Reopen at 942.59. If it's a 5-minute halt, of course. I do like the halt scanner a lot too, by the way. If you are looking for volatility, which if you're trading a small account, once again, you need to be looking for volatility. The halt scanner like this is super useful because trading stocks out of a halt is like one of the more volatile things you can target, right? Finding stocks as soon as they open out of a halt, they're typically going to be much more volatile than like your normal stocks. What's the cost of the lifetime? The course is $2,000, but I've always allowed people to do this. I do think, I'm not gonna lie, I do think $2,000 is like a little expensive. I think it's maybe a little bit too crazy. I should probably just go change the price, but you can on the course, you can go use coupon code 50, which takes 50% off. So you can get lifetime access. You can get lifetime access to the scanner and access to the course for $1,000. If that interests you. And once again, there's been some people that have signed up for that even have no interest in the course. There's just people that, and I get it, you hate paying subscriptions. You don't want any recurring payments on your account. I understand that. So, you know, that offer is there for you as well. Any advice on gauging the float of a halted stock? What do you mean? Oh, you mean like how to see what the float is? Because I don't show it here. I always think that when you're looking at volatility halts, just look at the volume. If you see a stock that's halted, like that's why I added this, because you see a lot of like really light to like dead volume stuff that gets halted. You can just ignore all of that. Once you see like an M here, like once you start seeing heavy volume in the halt, then you know like, hey, maybe that's one I'd be interested in looking at, you know? That's when I'd be interested in volatility. There's your volatility. Hey, what do I say a lot? Volatility is a double-edged sword, right? Stocks can go up fast, stocks can go down fast. There's your FXHO volatility out of the halt, straight into a down hold. That's the risk you take. Once again, as always, I have not built a time machine. Please, stocks that are hitting these scanners are certainly not definitely going to go up. That's not the point of any stock scanner. The point of any stock scanner is to make sure that you're looking at the most interesting moves in the market as fast as possible. You're getting put on the best opportunities in the market as fast as possible. If anybody has the technology to build a time machine, let me know. KIDZ, I continue to come back and watch this thing because it's still probably the most interesting, but it's been doing for the last like 8 minutes now. It's been doing this like pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. It's trading in a range here. It's a pretty volatile range. Yeah, it's like a 10-12% range here that this is trading between. I've actually talked to a lot of traders that are like range traders, right? Like this is what they look for. They look for a stock that has done this. And then they start, buying here and selling here.
RIOX.
So they would have seen this happen 2 or 3 times, and then they would have bought, sold. They would have just bought. Now maybe they're selling again. But there's something to be said for finding ranges and trading them. LUCY on the scanner again. Sky Q as well. This is a stock that hit the scanner a lot last week. Sierra Kilo Uniform at Quebec, although it is red on the day. I am very uninterested in stocks that are red on the day. LUCY, this is once again, this is the stock we talked about earlier, how it's still like 30% away from daily highs, so I'm not interested in it. And this is exactly why.
CRDU.
Right? You very much notice how stocks that are breaking out, but not breaking out into high of day, they really don't get, never say never. Once again, anything can happen in the stock market. Traders are statisticians, not fortune tellers. So statistically, they don't get like the big, harsh, fast breakups. Once again, why? Because you have all this overhead resistance. Right? Look at the amount of volume traded here. A shitload of shares were traded here. There's still a lot of people that bought here, held all the way down, and now are just like, anytime they see any little pop like this, they're like, okay, screw it. I'll take my 5%, 10% loss, whatever it is. Just get me the hell out of this thing. So you have this overhead resistance. You have all these local sellers that anytime you get a pop, they're selling into, which is why you don't get the like nice, clean breakout that you get at high of day. Like look at the stock when it was breaking into high of day, right? It broke and flew. It broke and flew. It broke and, for a candle, it did well, but that's why those are the candles I'm looking to trade, right? I'm looking for the nice, clean. I found range trading a solid strategy for swing trading. Dude, so I talked to my grandfather a lot about stocks. Like, honestly, he's probably the person that got me into stocks because he was the person that when I was a kid, every morning he was watching Bloomberg or CNN, whatever it was, like every single morning. I'd be watching the news with him talking about stocks while I was playing with my race cars on the carpet or whatever. So we talk about stocks a lot, but it was a while ago. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been here, 2021 maybe. We were talking about this SOXL range because I was like kind of telling him about levered ETFs and stuff. I didn't do it, but he did it. Like I was kind of talking about how SOXL had this range. So like every time it dipped, I don't remember exactly where it was. It might have not been this. It might have been some different range, but it doesn't really matter. But every time it dipped down, sub 35 or whatever, he would buy, and then he was selling above 40. Like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. He
AXTX.
I think he did pretty well doing that. Jeez Louise. Look at SOXL now. Anyway, what are we at? LHSW. Is this still our top gainer on the day? Yes, it is. LHSW was good pre-market. Made some, yeah. Yeah, this was an interesting stock for sure. This was a stock that didn't have news, but certainly made a few good moves that we talked about with the scanner while I was live in pre-market this morning. Yeah. BENU, good news. dead volume once again. Nothing you should be trying to trade. I mean, good luck to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you were listening to me about how to trade, I would always tell you to avoid that shit.
INLF.
What? The hell is this? Why does Thinkorswim say this is up 33,000%? Do you guys see this on your Thinkorswim too? INLF, this is once again, it's a very dead volume, like halty. It's not a stock you should worry about trading. Thinkorswim says it's up 33,000% on the day, which is what the bro, this is gross. This thing is like a reverse split so much that like just a couple days ago it was an $800 stock. $800. Of course it wasn't actually transacting at that price. It's reverse split so much. Oh, it just 1 to 200 reverse splitted. I got you. So Thinkorswim just hasn't updated the percent change calculation, I guess. Thinkorswim still sees it as the, penny stock it was before the split.
CRE.
33,000% gainer, guys. Listen, I've watched at least 10 stocks make at least 1,000% in a single day. It does happen. Now, I've never seen 33,000%. I think the biggest I saw was like 6,000% in a single day, but it wasn't real. It was one of those Chinese very small volume stocks that was just like holding. It went up like 6,000% in a day. Once again, it wasn't a stock that anybody could actually trade. It was all like kind of bullshit, low volume manipulation, but I don't remember what it was. If someone said the ticker, I would recognize it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. What about GameStop? I don't think GME ever did 1,000% in a day. Actually, I know it never did 1,000% in a day. If you want to know the God's honest truth, AMC and GME, listen, they were crazy moves. I'm not saying they weren't crazy moves. They were very, very crazy moves. But stuff like this happens, right? Like it went up 500% in 10 days. Multiple times a year, probably more than you can count on two hands times a year, you get stocks that go up 500% in 8, 9, 10 days. Shit, you get stocks that do 500+% in a single day, multiple times a year. Now, it's not often. It's not like it happens every week, but multiple times a year, you get 500, 600, 700, 1,000% in a day stocks. It's like in the grand scheme of things, AMC and GME weren't even that crazy. It just got like hyper popular because everybody on Reddit and Twitter and every corner of the internet was talking about it, right? But stuff like that happens. I mean, if you have a scanner, you pay attention to the market every day, you'll see moves like that. They happen. I actually made really good money on AMC. At the time, it was really good money. I think I made like over $4,000 in this. I was in AMC. It was actually, I used to trade earnings gap closes. So AMC announced earnings. You can't, the chart is so stretched now, you can't even tell. But AMC like announced earnings somewhere here, and then they closed that gap. So I bought. It was a strategy. It was a swing trading strategy that I traded at the time. So I was like already in AMC, and then AMC happened. So like I was in this. I did make pretty good money in this trade. Once again, at the time. So it was nice. It was good for me. I also did really well on... What was was it clothing? Wasn't there some clothing store that went crazy alongside like these memes? American Eagle? No. Kohl's? I don't know why I can't remember what it was now. I also did very well on Victoria's Secret. This was another stock. This was No, sorry. the other naked chick stock, Playboy. Playboy I did very well on. This was another, this was a little bit different because this was the NFT pump, but this was like a pretty obvious trade setup at the time when everybody and their mother, like if you announced you were launching an NFT, your stock went up 300%. So Playboy like announced they were doing NFTs. And so I did very well on that in 2021 as well. What's that stupid website you like take quizzes on? BuzzFeed. I did very well on BuzzFeed. I think this was also, oh no. Was it BuzzFeed? I can't remember. I've traded so much shit. I think it was BuzzFeed. I think it was one of these days I day traded BuzzFeed. I made like over $1,100 or whatever in a single day, which at the time for me was nuts. Oh, sorry, KIDZ. Let's talk about what's actually happening right now. Oh, is this halted? Yes. Look. Okay, everyone relax. Bed Bath & Beyond is another fun one, yes. KIDZ halted up at 9:54.06. As you can tell, that is exactly correct. The unopened time will be 9:59.06 if it is a 5-minute halt. Okay, this is the stock we've been watching all morning. I've been talking about how, like, I'll be interested in it once it gets to high a day. It's at high a day. It did it. It just broke above high a day and halted. This will be a very, very interesting reopen. 4 minutes. You were getting alerted on this thing before it halted. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying a ton of attention. I was kind of reminiscing about my 2021 meme stock trading days. But yeah, this was like hitting the scanner into the halt. So you definitely knew about this thing before it halted if you had this scanner. You're in it, Maroney? Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Most of the time, not always, of course, but most of the time, if you get a really hype stock like this is your second top gainer on the morning, and it's traded a shitload of volume. Like when you get a stock like this that's in an up halt, most of the time it comes out of that halt strong. I'm not saying it's going to remain strong for a long time, but like normally you get some sort of gap up, or even if it opens flat, you get some kind of push up. Once again, I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but what is your strategy coming out of the halt? So I used to trade halts. Actually, like I used to almost exclusively trade halts, but we sort of had the conversation in pre-market this morning about how trading is a means to an end. This is a very, very, very risky trading strategy. So I don't trade like this anymore because thankfully I don't need to. But the way I used to trade halts, I would only trade if it was a very hype stock. So one of your top gainers on heavy volume. This stock aligns with that. So the precursor is aligned. Obviously the stock has to be halted up, and then I would look for a gap up. So the stock has to open higher. If it opens flat, no trade. If it opens down, no trade. The stock has to open higher. I'm then looking to buy the first pullback. It opens, say it opens at 165. I don't know if it's going to. I'm looking for any dip. Like even if it dips to 160, I'm in. My stop level is the previous halt. And then my sell, honestly, is like any push up. I was in out of these trades normally within 10 seconds. Like I'm in, it either comes down hard so I get stopped out, or I get in and it like bounces and I pretty much immediately get out. For me, it was very much a scalping strategy. Like this is definitely like my most scalpy strategy that I ever traded is halts. But I always found it like you kind of had to be. Stocks move very, very, very fast out of halts. So like if you're buying the dip, you get any rip, like any big push, 5-10%, boom, just take the profit and run, you know?
TDIC.
Once again, am I saying that's what you should do? No. Am I saying it's going to be a profitable strategy? No. It's just, that's what I used to do. I did okay doing it. I was profitable in the end on that strategy. It wasn't my best ever strategy, but 9:59.06, so 40 seconds. If it's a 5-minute halt. Let us see. Once again, you're looking for the gap up in order to align with what I just talked about. Why is my floating P&L populating nothing? There it is. 5 seconds. Now, I believe. Was it 04? There it is. Okay, there's your gap up. Okay, so I'd be in here. Say I'm in here. I'm not actually. This is not a real trade. Just like talking about how I used to trade. All right, now I'm out. If I got filled. That would have been tough. I'm not sure I would have gotten filled, but I would have tried to sell that. Right? That's how I trade them. In, out, just like that. It's weirdly like hanging out. Like it's weirdly, you did get the nice gap up that I talked about, but now it's weirdly like kind of chilling. Which I don't like. I would not like watching this thing not explode. If it kind of hangs out like this. What was I literally I was just saying it. If it kind of pops, like out of a halt, if it kind of pops like that and hangs out, like that's not a good sign. Like that's a sign of failure. It's a sign that failure is likely coming. Of course, once again, anything in trading doesn't mean it's definitely going to fail. No, of course not. But I was literally saying it in real time, how I don't like this. I don't like how you got the pop, but now it's just kind of chilling, right? Like, boom, straight into a downhole. Like as I was talking about it, straight into a downhole. Got out on the gap up. Thanks for the assist. Hey, good job, Maroney. Congratulations. Yeah, hopefully you guys were listening to me say that. And well, I don't know. I don't really want to affect your real trading too much. I'm not here to tell you how to trade. I'm just here to talk about what I see, right? Oh, LHSW. This stock is up and down. So that's like the third time I've done that since market open. I see LHSW, but like I'm a little distracted. So by the time I get over to it, it's already failed. Like the scanner put you on like here at like 603 or whatever, put you on like a decent little move there. Put you on, I mean, it's a decent, whatever, 7-8% move, whatever, not crazy. But by the time I get to it, because I'm looking at something else, it's already back down. It's already failed. Now hold it down. Luckily, I listened to you and made some money. And that's why, like, once again, going into it too, we talked about how my halt strategy was always hyper scalpy because this is a very typical halt move is to get halted down fat. Like if it fails hard, right? That is certainly the risk you incur when trading at a halts like that. And you have to understand that. I mean, it's just like anything in life. To understand the risk that comes with the reward you're chasing, right? And unfortunately, once again, maybe the most unfortunate part about trading is that it's basically impossible to chase more reward without incurring more risk. It's just gonna happen. If you want bigger wins, you have to take bigger risks. Welcome to trading. Welcome to most of life, really. It's kind of how most things in life are, I guess. What is that? Fortune favors the brave. Wasn't that the like big Coinbase commercial before they crashed and everyone stopped caring about crypto? What is Bitcoin up to? Well, it's back above 60,000, but still mostly dead. I think the S&P has outperformed Bitcoin over the last 5 years now. What? Oh. Bro, I looked at this number and thought this was the percent. I was like, that's not right. So never mind. The S&P's up 72% in the last 5 years. Bitcoin's up 84%. So Bitcoin's still outperforming the S&P over the last 5 years. COSM, Charlie Oscar Sierra Mike. Kind of a very light volume, no news penny stock. So certainly not something I'm going to trade, but it is certainly moving. So good for the scanner letting you know. I think Lucy will be the next one to test high a day. Lucy. She's got a ways to go. But I mean, so did kids at the time we talked about it. We'll see. We will see, my friend. Louis. What's up, everybody? What are we doing? What are we looking at? The scanner just got like real quiet. Nothing has hit the scanner for almost a minute, and we're 33 minutes in the market open. Where are we at? What's happening? When does kids reopen? Kids halted at 9:54:06, so 9:50. Wait, sorry, that was the first halt. Most recently halted at 10:07, so halt is 10:05. 10:05 what? 10:05:07. Okay, so 20 seconds. We'll watch the kids reopen since literally nothing else is happening. It has now been over a minute since anything hit the moving now. Hello, market? Wake up. I can't force the market to be interesting, right? 2 seconds on kids. There it is. Opens flat. Once again, sort of immediately did that thing where it pushed but didn't want to rock it. All's quiet on the Western Front. It's fighting. KIDZ. Opened flat. Still trading flat. Once again, with KIDZ, just like I was before, would not be interested in it until it goes and breaks high a day again. So it's got to get up, it's got to get up and over 170 before I'd even consider it. No, Dan. It's not a bad idea though. Adding the news symbol to the halt scanner is not a bad idea. Should be really easy to do too, since I already obviously have the precedent in the code. Wait, what? Kids AI wins 2026 EdTech X Award and unveils KidsBot AI robotics platform. Nice. AI robotics penny stock company. If you get AI robotics in your news right now, you're gonna go up, right? That was news that if I was awake and trading this morning at 7:30, whenever it came out, I would have been very interested in trading that news for sure. Those are very hot buzzwords. And there goes the failure. It's coming down now, KIDZ. Yeah, you have to get the updated code. PS. Go to my recent video, the one talking about this one. Go to this video, the follow the yellow video. In this video, there is a share link. This is the updated share link. I actually don't think I updated the one on the website yet. I'll do that like right after the live stream. I'll go into the website and I'll update the proof candles study so that you get the blue and yellow candles. Yeah, here's where you get the updated one from. The description on this video. I guess I could do it. Oh no, I can't do it now because my third monitor isn't working. I normally, like, while live streaming, I can do work, like fix stuff over on my third monitor, but it decided it was going to break. Kids is a repeat offender. Yeah, of course. Most of these stocks are, my friend. Most of these stocks are. Once again, I talk about this a lot. Why do penny stocks exist, right? Why would a penny stock fight to remain listed? It could just easily, like, once it has its 6 months or whatever. Is it 6 months? 12? However long it needs to be below $1, it gets delisted.
TDIC.
So why do companies remain listed? Why do they fight to remain listed? Why do they fight to get back above $1? So that they can continue to reverse split, right? These penny stocks only exist to dilute. They are going to dilute. They're going to have a secondary offering. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. That's why they exist. They raise money via dilution. So yeah, they all of that to say is they almost always have a history of popping and dropping because they're trying to. They announce news like this, like they announce this kind of news. They announced a AI robotics platform, which, to be completely frank with you, is probably bullshit. An AI robotics platform, they probably whipped together some website using AI or some shit, if I had to guess, so they could get. They understand. Listen. They understand too that if a news has buzzwords in it, it's going to cause the stock to go up more likely than not. So, they create some bullshit that gets some buzzwords so that they can pop, so that their next offering can be worth a little bit more money, right? KIDZ will have a secondary offering like within a week, probably. It's just how it goes. And then, you know, a month from now, you will see KIDZ pop again on some more bullshit news because they're ready to offer again, you know. It's what they do, man. It's what these companies do. Kids' thoughts on bouncing off the 1 minute VWAP? I don't trade like that, Maroney. I can't really speak to that because it's not my trade style, right? My trade style is the exact opposite of being interested in KIDZ right now. KIDZ, like whenever I see a stock like this and whenever I see a situation like this, I view this as buying and hoping, right? I view this as you're buying this with the hope that it goes up. Can it go up? Yeah, of course it can. It might. Who the hell knows? But I'm a big believer in, once again, trading like a surfer. Buying stocks that are already going up and going up for a legitimate reason, like with news and on heavy volume. Like it has a legit reason to be flying up right now. I buy that and then look for the continuation. I'm not a big fan of like buying stocks that are down or buying stocks that are going sideways and then hoping they go up. It's not how I trade. But, you know, what have I talked about multiple times this morning? If it works for you, please continue to do it, right? There's a lot of people that make money buying dips. I'm not saying you have to trade like me. Of course you don't have to trade like me. It's just how I trade. It's how I see the market. It's what I found worked best for me. You know, if you want to turn on the VWAP and buy dips to VWAP, by all means, listen, as long as you've proven it to be profitable, right? That's the thing that beginner traders miss.
CRDU.
Beginner traders don't prove their ideas. They just like watch a YouTube video or something and like turn on a study and then start trading based off of it. You have to prove the idea is profitable, right? You have to put in the work. You have to do the testing. You have to do the back testing to prove the idea works and to give you a baseline of statistics that you know if you can match will make you profitable over time. Then you have to do forward testing, which means you should trade small share size in real time. And then you should ensure, obviously you need to be journaling your trades. And then you need to ensure that the statistics from your forward testing align with the statistics from your back testing. That way you know that the back testing idea is translating well into live trading and that the live trading statistics are aligning with what is profitable over time. Once you've done those two things, then you have a real profitable trade idea. Then you should be trading like that, right? That's the only thing you should be trading. That's the only time you should start trading a strategy is when you've done those two things on it. What do you use for back testing? You're looking at it. That's why these strategies exist, right? That's why these custom strategy codes in Thinkorswim exist, to gather the data for my back testing. And then I also have this fancy back test data study, which when I turn on gives me statistics so that I can just very easily and quickly write down these statistics across multiple stocks, across multiple days until I get thousands of trade examples. And then I can obviously summarize what these statistics are. And I can see, okay, as long as I'm hitting X win percentage and X average trade, I'm going to be profitable. And this is my max drawdown. That's very important. I'm a very big believer in focusing on a max drawdown percentage number that you're comfortable with. It'll be different for everybody. I like to hang out under 30% max drawdown because it doesn't matter. Listen, there's a shitload of back tests out there that you will look at that you're like, oh my God, that is nuts.
AXTX.
But then you dig into the statistics of it and it has like a 95% max drawdown. So like the person that ran the back test ran it on past data that worked really, really, really well for their back test, but it has a potential max drawdown of like losing all your money, which is not a good strategy. I don't care that the back test makes a lot of money. If the max drawdown is huge, it's not a good strategy. It's not going to translate to live trading. So this is a very, very important number I look at too. Yeah, I use code to automate the back testing process because it speeds it up. It speeds it up hugely. It takes building a profitable back test and building a profitable trading strategy from taking months to taking days using code like this does. Because if you're not using code, unfortunately, you have to go back through and you have to find manually every instance you would have bought, every instance you would have sold. And you have to make sure, like, then the issues start to creep in with doing that, with cheating, right? Like if you're doing it manually, you're always going to have some subset of bias when you're doing it because you're like, oh, I want this strategy to work. I want this strategy to work. So you're going to start cheating in your back testing. You're going to start saying like, oh, well, I wouldn't have taken that trade, so I'm not going to count it in my back test or whatever. It's like, and that's cheating, right? You have to take every instance of the strategy. So yeah. Where can I find a reliable level 2? I like Weebles, honestly. I don't use level 2 anymore, and it's been years, so there might be better options. Maybe ask somebody else. But when I did use level 2, I subscribed to Weebles data. I think it was like $2 a month. It's like hella cheap, and they had like a nice, reliable, full level 2 that I could dig into. I don't really care about level 2 anymore because I'm not a scalper, right? I think level 2 is like necessary if you are a scalper. Like if you're getting in and out of trades, it's pretty important that you can like visualize and have an idea on what the next tick may be. But if you're a day trader like I am, like you're buying stocks and then holding them for, X number of minutes, level 2 doesn't really matter. If anything, it causes like over analysis. It causes you to like sell too early because you're like, oh, look at that big ask wall. And like the next thing you know, the ask wall is broken and it's flying. But you enter the trade right before or after the stock breaks high a day. I'm a big believer in buying the close of a breakout candle. So I wait for the candle to close above the level that I'm looking at before I buy. That's like that's just confirmation to me that the stock is actually broken out. Because how many times do you see a stock break a level and then like within the same candle fail really, really hard? Like those big fake outs like that. So I wait for the candle to close. It also allows me to confirm that the volume is really large because I also only buy breakouts if the volume is at like high a day too. Like if the volume is also supporting the move, which is why this candle isn't yellow, right? Because this candle has really dead volume. Then these candles are, because these candles have very big volume, That's another component of the yellow candles is the volume must also be at local highs, not just the price into high a day. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Some light volume crap. But a lot of that today. A lot of light volume crap. Look, LHSW is doing its next pop. If I had to guess, it's going to fail. If I had to guess, it's going to fail. As a scalper, I live off level 2 and you use Weeble. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I liked Weeble. I liked the Weeble's data when I was doing more trading like that. Yeah. Tried for 2 months, bought your annual subscription over the weekend. Thank you, Mr. Atkins. Hope you find a ton of value in it, my friend. The annual subscription is crazy. I mean, it's 12 months of access to this data. And the craziest part about that is if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, like think about everything that's happened with this scanner so far. All the moves we've found, all the updates we've made, all the content that I've made talking about it. The scanner's not even been out for 6 months yet. And you're going to get access to it for 12 months. That's such a long time. Just think about how different your life could look in 12 months. A long, long, long time. I always tell people it's a really easy decision, right? Like spending money is always relative. It's a very easy decision. Do you think that 12 months of access to this scanner can help you make $400? The answer is yes, the decision's easy. If the answer is no, the decision's easy, right? It's a simple, ROI calculation you have to do on your end. I'm not allowed to answer that question for you. And I never would, because it's certainly not guaranteed. Some people are going to sign up to this scanner for a year and still lose money. It's trading, baby. I mean, look, we ain't all going to make it. There's still work you have to put in on your end. The scanner isn't magic. The scanner is not going to magically make you profitable, right? But I think that the scanner is going to help a lot. And I've gotten a lot of, hundreds and hundreds of feedback and reviews claiming the same from paying customers. So there comes that LHSW fail. This thing is, it didn't fail as hard though. It didn't like pop, give up the whole move. Maybe it wants to actually grind this time, huh? It's been doing that all morning though. Pop, give up the whole move. 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 We'll see. Ah. Maybe it does want to fight this time. Lima Hotel Sierra Whiskey. You notice how this time it sort of broke that pattern of giving up the whole move immediately, which is a good sign. Get a nice little pattern break like that. This is still your top gainer on the day. So, you know, don't be surprised when there are a lot of eyes on this thing if it can really get going. Wow. Hello. Dude, that was sick. Remember 45 seconds ago when I was talking about how this thing is broken the pattern of giving up its whole move? It like just ripped, huh? Getting fire emojis on the scanner now? It's obviously been on the scanner for a while. We've been looking at it, but it's your top gainer on the day, so everyone is still watching this thing. A lot of eyes watching this. A lot of volume coming into it too, of course. Someone else has signed up to the scanner. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. What does that make? 6 new customers this morning? 5. Sorry, I lied. I'm sorry. 5 new customers this morning. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you. Assuming you're in the live stream. Thank you. LHSW, Lima Hotel Sierra Whiskey. Trying to get above that $7 whole dollar resistance. It got above it, but didn't close above it. We just talked about the importance of the candle closing above levels a second ago. And every whole dollar, typically a fight. Nice psychological resistance is what the kids like to call it. And why does that happen? Like, why do you get the psychological resistance at $7? Because, like, most people that are trading these stocks aren't actively trading them in the same way that you and I are, right? They're not, like, really paying a ton of attention to, like, the real bar chart and, like, candlestick setups and this, that, and the other. They're just like, oh, this stock is up a lot, so they bought it. Maybe wherever they bought it, they're like, you know, Warren Buffett says to buy the dip. So they see the stock, maybe they bought it at like 580, whatever, and they just set their sell at 7. They're like, if it hits 7, I'll sell. So when it hits 7, they sell, and you get that psychological resistance there. Huh? 222 viewers, my favorite number. 22 is my favorite number, but I'll take 222, even better. 2,222 coming next. You think kids might try to hold us well? I have no idea, brother. I have no idea what a stock is going to do. I can make better educated guesses than like most people because I have been actively watching live charts now for over 10 years. But when a stock is going sideways like this, it's hard to tell. I would say like it twists my arm, and as long as it's above this 133 level, I think it's fine. When it loses this, it's bad, right? When it loses this support, it's bad. Probably. But it could also lose the support and then rocket. I mean, who knows, man? But it's hard to tell, you know? This is a stock that had news 3 hours ago now that is made a huge move. Now it's kind of chilling. It's hard to predict. I think it's much easier to predict moves right when they announce news, because that's kind of your edge, right? Like if you're getting news live and in real time, which you are with this scanner, that's kind of your edge over the market.
LHSW.
It's like, okay, I see the news. I understand. Hey, this thing is trading. Hey, this thing either does or doesn't have a very hot buzzword right now. So like that's when you can start to predict, okay, Has news, has a very, very small float, sub 1 million share float. It has multiple buzzwords in the news, AI, robotics, I think there's a pretty good chance this thing is going to have a continuation. And of course, this stock did have huge continuation from the time it announced the news. It's up like over 90% from the time it announced the news. That is where I live. I live in trading that move. I live in trading the move off the news because, once again, I feel like that's really the only time you can have a prediction of what may happen. Once again, please, the stock could have announced AI robotics news and then just popped and then failed all the way back down. That happens sometimes too. Of course, it's not a 100% win rate, but that's when you can start to derive higher than 50% win rates and higher than 50% predictions is on those moves right after news. Whereas right now, who the hell knows? I don't know. I don't know what this stock's gonna do. You know what I mean? Go back to LHSW, continuing to try. Oh wait, it made it over 7 really big actually. But it's doing that thing again where it pops and drops and oh God. Gross. Not trying to be messy. Will a symbol pop up as fast as the one from Warrior Trading? So 5, I've never looked. I should go subscribe to Ross's so I can compare. I've never looked, but I've had at least 4 people now tell me that my scanner is on par with his. My scanner pops up basically, and someone used the term lockstep. Someone said my scanner is lockstep with his. Like you see the exact same stocks at just about the exact same time. I can't speak to that. Once again, I've not done the research personally. I've not done it. I should. But yeah, I think listen, if my scanner is comparable to Ross's, that's awesome. Because Ross's scanner is what, $150 a month? My scanner is $45 a month. So if mine is in his ballpark, even close to being in his ballpark, that's a very good thing for me, right? Very good for what I've put together. And same issue 5, that's also not me trying to be messy. Is Ross a competitor? Sure, of course he is. But I'm a big believer in business that dude, especially in day trading scanners, there's enough customers to go around that Ross and I can both be very successful, right? And he targets a different audience than I do. I mean, listen, he has a much, much, much bigger audience than I do. He probably deserves to charge more money than I do because he knows he's going to get the customers. He has a massive following. It's good for him. I mean, that's sick. It's awesome. I just target, I target a different audience. I target people maybe looking to spend a little bit less money. Your scanner is much better. I went with his program for 1 month. Appreciate that. Yeah, I should sign up to his scanner and maybe do a little video comparing. I just need to sort of make sure that I'm being safe legally in doing that. I think as long as obviously I can't live stream his data. We can't do the comparison live because that would be live streaming his live data for free. I would never do that. I think it in my videos and stuff, as long as I don't include his logos and stuff like that, I think I'd be fine doing something like that. The kids are being put to bed. Yeah, there it goes. Lost that 133 level I talked about. But who knows? And once again, this looks bad, but I don't, maybe this is some liquidation or whatever the hell inner circle traders talk about, some liquidation event or whatever they call it, and it's gonna rocket. And who knows, man? Who knows, bro? I don't know. So it took it a little bit longer this time, but LHSW still did end up doing the pattern of pop and then give up the whole move. It's been a pretty gross mover since its initial. It was nice in pre-market actually. Nice rip, nice rip, nice rip. Had a couple of nice rip, but then since market open, it's been disgusting. This stock. Can your scanner rate the news? So I've thought about that 5. I think that's something that starts to get into the realm of getting me in trouble. I don't ever want the scanner to be like suggesting this stock is better to buy than that stock or whatever, because that starts to very, very much flirt with financial advice. I can like blast this data at you and like not really have a problem with that. But if I start saying like, oh, this is really good news, you know, that starts to become like me suggesting you to buy stocks, which is very illegal. You know what I mean? Listen, just do the research. First off, like, there will be buzzwords that you will only know if you watch the stock market every day, right? But there's also shit that like, it's not hard, right? Like if you don't live under a rock, you know that AI robotics is moving stocks right now. Of course you do. That's like what everyone is talking about. So like, it's also like, you don't have to overcomplicate it either. It can be pretty simple to just look at news and go, okay, I know that one. I know that one's good. I know that's hot. I know that has a chance to push this stock up. You know what I mean? That's also where the time machine functionality of the scanner comes in too. You use this time machine, you go back. I do this every weekend. Well, I didn't do it this last weekend because I was in California. But most weekends, I use the time machine. I go back through every day of the past week, and I look at what the top gaining stocks on news were. I read their headlines. I write them down. I do, I have AI make me a report real quick for like what were the hottest buzzwords of the week. That way I know, and I have kind of reports that show me, hey, what is causing stocks to move right now, right? And you can do that research. I also provide you the tool to do that research, right? Time machine functionality of the scanner is dope. Like, I don't think this is something you get in most other scanners either. I don't know if, does Ross's scanner have a functionality like this? I don't know. It probably does. But yeah, like, so you have all the tools at your disposal to figure that out yourself, without me having to tell you, without me having to flirt with shit that the FTC is going to seize my assets over. Listen, me making a lot of money from my business is very important to me, obviously. Me protecting my ass legally is also very, very important to me. That's a big reason why I don't show my trades live either. Scanner is money again today. Well done, Trey. Congrats, Christopher. Great video of the US goal. That was sick. You guys want to see where I was sitting for the match? Guys, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. We're almost at 3,800 followers. Look at these Bosnians, bro. This was fun. Oh my God, that's loud. I was at this place, I was in Santa Clara, obviously. They got a San Pedro Square down there. I was there for the Mexico match. Dude, crazy. Absolutely nuts. This was my angle for the goal. This is where I was obviously sitting. That was fun. A lot of fun. Same here. You were in San Pedro Square too? Dude, what a good time. The party after too. I had more fun, I think, celebrating the Mexico win than the American win. Listen, the Mexico fans, way better than American fans. As far as like soccer culture goes. Obviously the USA game was fun. I'm American. I was cheering for USA. We won. Obviously it was a lot of fun. But like the chants and stuff and like the celebrations and stuff, like Mexico does it way better for sure. I could, Dan. I could. But then there's like I used to do that too, Dan. For 5 years, I made content both on YouTube and I was live streaming all my live trades over on Twitch too. It becomes a big like burden on me. Like honestly, I don't like doing it. I think it makes my own trading way worse. And maybe that's a personal flaw of mine. Like maybe I should be better in that aspect, but I'm not, so I have to listen to myself. But it makes me trade worse when I know that like I'm going to have to talk about this trade in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? Puts a lot of extra pressure on my trades. It definitely, the big thing it makes me do, it makes me want to sell my winners way too early. Because I want to just be able to make a video going, look, I made money today, instead of like being up and having the stock run against me, which just does happen sometimes, you know? That's trading. That's part of life. So doing that, like talking about my real money trading on the internet makes me trade worse. It stresses me out. I don't like it. So I just don't do it anymore or whatever. And I don't think it's I get from an entertainment perspective how it would be way better. Like you guys would be way more entertained if I talked about my real money trading. But as far as like learning how I trade, like as far as like trading education goes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything if you see how I trade or you don't see how I trade, right? Because it's not going to change the level of education you get from me. Great seat. I paid a lot of money for that seat. I bought it at like the worst possible time, but whatever, right? Who cares? I was kind of under the impression of like, I'm here now, you know? I got to go to a USA World Cup match on home soil. I didn't really care what I paid. You know what's funny? I reached out to the Commanders about buying season tickets in the club level, like really nice season ticket seats. Like in the level where the seats are cushioned, you get free sodas and hot dogs during the games and stuff. Really nice seats.
JDX.
The ticket that I bought for that soccer match cost more, like a decent bit more than what the season ticket would have cost for every Redskins game this year. But whatever. Once again, fuck it. Sometimes you got to spend money, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in that too. Like I save a lot of money. It's not like I go crazy. Like I haven't bought a Ferrari or Lamborghini or anything, but I don't know. I think you got to pay money. You pay money for experiences sometimes, right? Kind of like when I bought the boat. People are like, "Oh, Trey, don't buy a boat. They're money pits." It's like, dude, if you can afford a boat, you can afford a maintenance, buy a boat, bro. Like, you know, it's things like that, like things that I'm going to remember, things that my family are going to remember. The scanner is awesome. What's also awesome, as you iron out the kinks, add new features and correct the flaws. Maurice, I always say that like one of the biggest underlying kind of pros of the scanner is that I'm the solo developer on it. I'm the only person that works on this scanner. I've been day trading stocks for 10 years and I use this scanner every single day myself. So you kind of have someone making this scanner that knows what day traders need to see and is always going to be making sure it's running as good as possible because I want it to be running as good as possible for my own trading. It's not like, it's not some scanner built by some corporate team that thinks they know what people want and don't really care. No, did kids pop back up? See, look, man, that liquidity trap we talked about. See, yeah, it's, still doing that chilling sideways thing. 3 more people signed up to the scanner in the last 30 minutes, by the way. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Appreciate you very much. All right, y'all. I am going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. We are 7 minutes past time, but I've been having fun sitting here hanging out with you all. Very, very fun live stream as always. I will have content out for you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I need to get back to making Instagram shorts. I haven't made an Instagram short in a week. But if you're interested in short form content from me as well, you can go check out my Instagram. It's also Trading Stocks. I will try to get back to making content there this week as well. And then, of course, back in live on Friday morning. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're already subscribed, make sure you click that little bell icon. That way you get notified when I go live. Once again, obviously, if you're interested in the scanner, daytradingstrategies.net, go get it. Go get signed up. Go sign up for a year. 12 months of access to this data. Has to be worth the risk for the potential ROI, right? Obviously, that's a decision for you to make, but I don't know. Seems good to me. All right. So funny when I say that because I'm obviously extremely biased. But all right, y'all. Enjoy. Have a good rest of the week. Once again, I will see you on my long form content and I'll see you live Friday. Fun live stream. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.